Right now, bandit attacks are not something new in the country, especially from the northern parts of this country in different counties like Baringo, Turkana, West Pokot, and even Garissa and many other counties that do experience these attacks. Recently, we've buried close to 11 people who were attacked, and including them, it was close to 8 police officers who were attacked in that bandit attack. Tonight we are having that conversation here in studio with the leaders from those particular regions. I'll be speaking to Hezena Lemaletian, who is the senator, and Cecilia Ngitit, who is also the women representative of Turkana County. That and much more on the program tonight, because that conversation will be coming on later on. But first, let's take a look at the top stories tonight.
Headlines in association with
Marathon champion of 2022, and it is well inside 2 hours.
Tonight on Look Up Weekend, Amos Kipruto wins the men's London Marathon, bagging his first gold in a major marathon. Also tonight, 7 family members burned to death at Ngimari in Embu after their house caught fire. And President William Ruto pays his first visit to Raila's Homa Bay Turf as Nyanza elected leaders give Ruto's visit a wide berth.
Yippee! Kamata floating at 349K. Oh yes, for only 349,000 Kenyan shillings, you become a plot owner at the Great Oasis Gardens, Nanyuki. The Great Oasis Gardens, Nanyuki is located along the Nanyuki-Rumuruti Road, only 11 minutes from the Cedar Mall and right opposite Mount Kenya Wildlife Estate. This is the best place to establish the getaway home that you have always dreamt about. For every 349,000 that you deposit or pay as installment towards any of Optiven's plot of land, you get 10K cash back instantly. Jaza basi twende Nanyuki. Bigger is indeed better.
All right, now remember that you can be part of this program by engaging us on our socials. That is at Amwai Brian on Twitter, at Lookuptv. The hashtag to use is LookUpWeekend. We are also live on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, and all the socials. Be sure to engage us, send us your feedback there, and we'll be able to sample some of it at the end of the program tonight. Also, the conversation that we'll be having tonight is banditry in the north. What is your take on that? What do you think should be the long-lasting solution that can be employed so that we don't get to experience the same? And just a reminder, I have my guests in studio who will be speaking on that particular issue, leaders from the north. My name is Brian Amwai. Our sign language interpreter tonight is Angel Lois. Now let's start this program tonight with some sporting action. Another victorious trek for Kenya at the London Marathon after 2019 world bronze medalist Amos Kipruto reclaimed the marathon title for Kenya in 2 hours, 4 minutes and 39 seconds. Now the race, which kicked off today, saw Kipruto, the solo Kenyan, overpowering the fierce rivals Ethiopia, with Liul Gebre Selassie coming second as Belgian Abdi Bashir finished third, with Ethiopian powerhouse Kenenisa Bekele setting for fifth. Now the women's side saw Kenya unable to defend its title, with Yehualu clinching to victory past second.
Another victorious streak for Kenya at the London Marathon after 2019 world bronze medalist Amos Kipruto reclaimed the marathon title for Kenya in 2 hours, 4 minutes, 39 seconds. Kipruto stayed in the pack for a better part of the race as the solo Kenyan, brushing aside a strong threat from the Ethiopian neighbors until the last 7 kilometers. In his debut, Kipruto majestically reclaimed the title last won by Eliud Kipchoge back in 2019, as Ethiopian Leol Gebre Selassie finished second in 2 hours, 05 minutes, 12 seconds, followed closely by Belgium Abdi Bashir in 2 hours, 05 minutes, 19 seconds, with Ethiopian powerhouse Kenenisa Bekele settling 5th in 2 hours, 05 minutes, 53 seconds. The women's side saw defending champion Jocelyn Jepkosgei unable to recapture her title, with Yalamzef Yehualo from Ethiopia showcasing class to finish first in 2 hours, 17 minutes, 25 seconds, as her compatriot Elemo Megertu came in third. Following the Kenyan dominance in long-distance races today, the scenes at the home ground in Eldoret town were remarkable, with a huge crowd attracted at the 4 major roads of Oginga Odinga Street, joining Eldoret E10 Highway, and the Kenya-Ugandan Highway closed to facilitate the view. With a big screen mounted, among those enjoying one of their own was marathon record holder Mary Keitany, Governor Jonathan B. Kotimoja, Uasin Gishu Athletics Chairman Joseph Boit, and Nandi Sports CEO Kennedy Tanui. Tanui pointed out that Nandi County will continue to produce top runners in every championship.
In Nandi there is a lot of talents, and we go to embark now on talent search, given that the 2 brothers have given us, and the second, number 2 in women, that is Jocelyn Jepkosgei, who also comes from Nandi.
Marinkigeni, Lookuptv.
All right, now that is some good news from across the globe where our countrymen are doing us proud. Now, some tragedy. 7 family members were today morning burnt beyond recognition in a fire that raged down through their home in the wee hours of the morning in an incident confirmed by the area Deputy County Commissioner. Yan Keitany now files.
It is a tragedy that occurred in the wee hours of the morning in Gimari village, Runyenje's constituency, sweeping all 7 family members, including 3 children and 2 grandchildren, who were burnt beyond recognition. According to their father, 85-year-old Benjamin Muthaithai, they bid each other goodbye at around 10 p.m. on Saturday, but when he woke up in the morning at 4 a.m., their house was engulfed in fire. Benjamin narrated that his cry for help bore no fruits, as only a few of the residents heard his pleas, calling on the police to carry out a thorough investigation to ascertain what transpired and the cause of the accidents.
Tuliachana na hawa watu saa 4 wakaenda kulala. Hawakuwasha moto hapa kwao. Walipicha huku kwangu. Tulipolala, mimi kuamka kama saa 9:30 hivi, saa 10. Ninaona mwangaza mkubwa sana upande huu. Mimi nikafikiria ni gari zinamulika. Nikatoka nje. Kutoka nje ninaona moto mkubwa sana iko hapa. Hata walipopiga nduru, watu wengi sana hawakusikia. Walikuja kusikia tu na masimu. Lakini wakisikia na masimu ni asubuhi na mili imekwisha.
Embu East Deputy Sub-County Police Commander Monica Moronie said that police had commenced investigations, with Deputy County Commissioner Jane Waringe appealing to members of the public to provide any information they have as pertains to the incident, adding that that was the only way investigators will be able to unravel the mystery of the night fire.
Ile information ambayo tutategemea ni kutoka kwa wananchi. Kwa hivyo majirani, wananchi wote, kila mtu ambaye alikuwa anapita hapa, kama una information yoyote, ujitokeze utusaidie kwa uchunguzi.
Ukipata any information, hakuna mtu atajua umekuja ukatuambia. Kuja, unaweza kuja personally kwangu, uende personally kwa OCS, uende personally kwa DCIO, upeane information yako.
Embu Senator Alexander Mudingi called on the county government to devolve the disaster management across the sub-counties to make disaster response easier, calling on Governor Cecily Mbarire to ensure firefighting vehicles are installed in at least all the sub-counties, while calling for thorough investigations on what happened.
Mimi najua tulichagua governor ambaye anaitwa Cecily Mbarire, na kwa sababu ni rafiki ya kila mtu na najua ameanza kazi nzuri aweze kusaidia tuweze kuwa hata kama kuna magari ya masimamoto, tuone kama kila sub-county itaweza kupata magari ya masimamoto. Yangu ni kuuliza serikali iweze kukuja kuangalia ni kwa nini nyumba imechomeka, kwa sababu hakuna stima. Pia watu wakati walitoka kwa papa yao hawakuwa wamekosana ama kukuwa na shida yote, wafanye investigation tujue moto imetoka wapi.
The remains of the 7 who could not be recognized have been taken to Embu Level 5 mortuary. Ian Keitani, Lookuptv.
All right, now President William Ruto was given a wide berth from elected leaders in Homa Bay as he toured the region to attend a church service. Now the president, who was received by his Luo Nyanza allies, who are mostly former elected leaders, promised the region that he will work closely with the leaders from the region to promote development. The head of state on Sunday made his first trip to the Luo Nyanza region since his inauguration. His main agenda to share a word of prayer with the people from the lakeside as he reassures the people of his development agenda for the region.
Mimi nataka mjue ya kwamba nafasi ambayo tuko nayo sasa ni ya kushirikiana na kufanya kazi ya mambo ya Kenya kwa pamoja na viongozi wote.
The head of state, however, was hit by what could be termed as a cold welcome following the absence of the elected leaders in the region. Homa Bay Governor Gladys Wanga missed the president's visit on grounds that she was outside the county. Taking to her social media, Wanga said, "I wish to extend a warm welcome to the president on behalf of the great people of Homa Bay and request him to feel at home. I am, however, out of the county on official duty and will therefore be unable to join him for the church service and have communicated the same to His Excellency." Homa Bay Town Member of Parliament Peter Kaluma also was not in attendance, citing various reasons. Kaluma tweeted, "Just got information that President William Ruto will be in Homa Bay today. Welcome. I am unable to be with you due to a lack of means. Let there be a better coordination in the future so that the MP whose constituency you're visiting has information."
Nataka niwahakikishie hiyo mpango, nitaomba Mungu anisaidie na tekeleze.
The president, however, promised to work closely with elected leaders in the region, promising to ensure there is proper development in the region. Ruto said his government was inclusive of all and that no region will be left behind.
Tutashirikiana na viongozi wenu na hii Homa Bay haiwezi kubaki nyuma wakati Kenya inasonga mbele.
The president also addressed residents of Homa Bay, promising to deliver on his campaign promises. Politicians who accompanied the president were David Ochieng, MP Ugenya, CS nominee for information Eliud Owalo, former Governor Okoth Obado of Migori, Jack Ranguma of Kisumu, former MPs Ken Obura of Kisumu Central, and Martin Ogindo of Rangwe. Brian Amwai, Lookuptv. Now, Azimio MCS in Nairobi County have pledged to work with Nairobi Governor Johnson Sakaja despite being in control of the National Assembly. Now, speaking at the Redeemed Gospel Church in Embakasi South, Speaker of the Nairobi County Assembly, Kennedy Ngondi, however, alleged that the government was determined to buy some MCS to vote for his opponent, Shadrach. Now, Shadrach Kareria reports.
In an attempt to ignite the opposition flame, the Azimio leaders in Nairobi County, led by Kennedy Ngondi, who is the Speaker of the Nairobi County Assembly, attended a church service at Redeemed Gospel Church in Embakasi South constituency,
and every incorrigible understanding,
where the Azimio Brigade used the podium to declare their next course of action.
Mumenipokea. Mumenipokea.
Ngondi stated that the Azimio MCAs in Nairobi County have no other option than working with the Nairobi County Johnson Sakaja for the sake of Nairobi residents.
We don't have a choice. A governor was elected by the residents of Nairobi. They made a choice, Sakaja is the governor. So we must support him 100%. We don't have to bring in issues or different issues. Yeah, that will hinder the service delivery to the Nairobi people.
Ngondi, however, lamented that the government was determined to frustrate him by attempting to corrupt Azimio MCAs to vote for his Kenya Kwanza opponent.
Nimechukua MCAs 68 nimepeleka Manzoni with a budget of 11.4 million. Ikifika usiku saa 5:30 ninapigiwa simu serikali wametuma watu, wamekuja kununua watu wetu. Mama Kaluki ambaye ni nominated anaambiwa kuja na tunakuwekea pesa kwa M-Pesa 1,300, lakini ukikuja tutaongeza ingine.
Na vile amesema haikuwa rahisi, lakini mnajua na nyinyi kazi yangu. Niliwapatia basi 3, nikawaambia kila mtu awache gari yake hapa na simu zenu naziweka kwa mfuko yangu, na kila mtu atapanda basi, hakuna mtu wa kupanda gari yake.
You can imagine kama kiti ya speaker ndio mtu anatengea milioni 100. Then what happens of the general election?
The Azimio leaders asked President William Ruto to work for Kenyans appropriately, maintaining that Raila Odinga won the election.
Ndugu yetu, baba yetu Raila Amolo Odinga needs prayers. Anahitaji maombi. Because everybody here believes that Raila did not lose election. Even the President of the Republic of Kenya today, we may not have voted for him. He is the chief executive of the Republic of Kenya. We need him to do justice to our country. We need him to lead this country in the rightful direction.
Shadrack Kareria, Lookuptv.
Right, now that is from the political front, exactly what is happening in the political arena. Also, just a reminder that we'll be having that conversation on what is happening, or rather what is ailing the north, that is the northern part of this country, because we've had quite a number of banditry attacks in those particular regions. And I'll be speaking to Cecilia Asinyan Ngitit, who is the women representative to Turkana County, Hezena Lemaletian, nominated senator here in Nairobi to represent the youth. We'll be having that conversation later on in the program. We want to take a short break. Don't go too far. Continue engaging us on our socials at Amwai Brian on Twitter, at Lookuptv. The hashtag to use is Lookup Weekend.
Vera Beauty and Fashion College is focused on being the leading technical and vocational training institute in the region. Our team possesses in-depth knowledge and extensive experience in the industry, offering thorough training in cosmetology, hairdressing, interior design, creative arts, training of trainers, nail technology, and fashion design. With branches in Nairobi, Thika, Meru, Eldoret, and now in Mombasa, our courses ensure that learners are completely equipped with knowledge, competency, and employability skills. Enroll today to be a part of a center of excellence.
Yippee! Kamata plotting at 349K. Oh yes, for only 349,000 Kenyan shillings, you become a plot owner at the Great Oasis Gardens, Nanyuki. The Great Oasis Gardens, Nanyuki is located along the Nanyuki-Rumuruti Road, only 11 minutes from the Cedar Mall and right opposite Mount Kenya Wildlife Estate. This is the best place to establish the getaway home that you have always dreamt about. For every 349,000 that you deposit or pay as installment towards any of Optiven's plot of land, you get 10K cash back instantly. Jaza basi twende Nanyuki. Bigger is indeed better.
Right now, Baringo, Turkana, Samburu, Elgeyo Marakwet, Laikipia, and West Pokot. Those are just some of the counties that have been experiencing banditry attacks. That conversation coming your way in a few with my guests. One of them is already here. One is on her way. She'll be here in a few, and we'll be having that conversation once I'm done updating you on everything that is happening in the country and across the globe. All right? Now, moving on, the National Parents Association is calling upon President William Ruto to have a representation of parents in the recently formed CBC task force. Now, the president on Friday released the list of 42 appointees to the task force that is seen to have left out parents and teachers representation. The association, led by the chairperson Silas Obuhatsa, are pleading with the task force to release the report before the Class 6 students who are set to join junior high school sit their national exams.
Mr. Kobia, to take over.
Barely 2 days after President William Ruto unveiled 42-member task force to evaluate the state of CBC in the country, there have emerged hue and cry with the National Parents Association now appealing for representation of at least 2 officials in the CBC task force. Parents are key stakeholders in education sector.
To the misplacement for the task force to come up with the recommendations touching on parents when their national leaders are not incorporated in the task force, because whatever will be recommended may have very negative effect on the parents and their children. We are therefore appealing to His Excellency the President to consider appointing to the task force at least 2 of our top officials of the organization, because we are the ones who interact with the common parents at the grassroots levels.
The association pleads with the task force to give the report on CBC before November against the 6-month plan. The request follows the fear that the report might scrap off CBC, thereby displacing the Class 6 students who are set to sit their national exams in November ahead of joining junior high school.
Transition. Unaona hii task force imeformiwa on 30th, last Friday. Mwezi wa Novemba mwishowe wanafunzi wa darasa la 6 grade 6 wanafaa wakalie national assessment ya kutransit kwenda junior secondary school. Hawa wanafunzi hawajatayarishwa.
The association blames the government for the implementation of a not well-planned system, as there is barely any infrastructure to support the system. There will be a shortage in CBC-trained teachers, as only a few have undergone the CBC training, and the students are bound to suffer.
Infrastructure. Bwana Magoha amekuwa akitembea katika mashule akisema anajenga madarasa. Katika secondary schools hakuna madarasa huko. Infrastructure ambayo iko katika secondary schools, mabweni, madarasa ni chache sana ambazo haziwezi kuaccommodate ama kuchukua transition ya hawa watoto sahi.
Professor Raphael Munavu-led task force is set to review the CBC system before handing over its recommendations to the head of state.
Mr. Kobia.
Mudeundalana, Lookuptv.
Now, residents of Lukenya sub-location in Machakos County are demanding control over the increased invasion of wild animals amid challenging drought times as a result of the lack of food and water. Elsewhere, Kibwezi West Member of Parliament in Makueni County decries not getting relief food released by President William Ruto, as in other counties in the northeastern facing the challenge. They urge the government to declare drought a national disaster. Moses Okech looks at this.
Ngoja. Sasa ile maneno unasema yote tunataka utuambie kesho tukuje tubuguze mnyama.
Residents here picture it as a norm and are used to wildlife animals invading their lands and homes, destroying their property. But in this season seems as a wrong timing due to lack of food and the biting drought that opposes the normalcy.
Ni miaka mingi kutoka 08 hakuna wakati wanyama hakujangi huku. Wanakujanga wanatusumbua. Shida ile iko au wanyama wengine wanakupea hapa karibu.
Ile mtu anataka kuweka mnyama kwake atakuja kwako kujaza fomu. Namna hiyo. Kati wewe.
Kwa hivyo ningeomba pia wajue sisi ni wanadamu na wanyama pia tunawapenda.
The residents, including farmers, feel uneasy to proceed with their planting activities, knowing the vanity of their efforts.
Saa hii tunakaribia msimu wa kupanda.
wananchi saa hii hata tukiwapea begu hapa, wale wako na begu za kupanda hawawezi kupanda, kwa sababu as far as hawa wanyama wako hapa, hiyo chakula hata ikipanda baada ya mwezi moja itakuwa imeharibiwa na wanyama.
In different areas, the wrath of the biting hunger is one of the main cause of animal invasion in farms as animals try to get a bite to sustain their stomachs. The KWS is on the move with strategic plans to curb the situation. Elsewhere, a week after President William Ruto declared the delivery of relief food in the 23 counties affected by drought, in Kibwezi West Makueni County, it is a delay. The area member of parliament Mwengi Mutuse addresses the challenge.
Wazazi kina mama wako na shida ya ukosefu wa chakula. Na kwa hivyo tunataka tuulize wale mashirika ya serikali ambao wamepewa jukumu ya kusambaza chakula na Mheshimiwa Rais kwamba watu hapa Kibwezi West na Makueni kwa jumla, pia Machakos na Kitui, tunajua njaa imezidi zaidi kwa sababu watu wetu wajakuwa na mvua kwa siku nyingi sasa, karibu miaka 2, miaka 3. Ng'ombe na mifugo pia hawana nyasi na pia wanazidi kuumia.
In mitigating the prolonged drought in the northeastern that has claimed hundreds of thousands of livestock, their counterparts in Kamuthe, Garissa County, who decided to venture in the irrigation sector, are now reaping big through fodder farming.
Tukaona sasa, tukafikiria, tukasema awacha tulime nyazi ili hiyo ukame at least tunaweza kung'ang'ana naye kwa hiyo mifugo.
The region suffers its worst drought in 40 years, which has wiped out livestock and crops, deepening a hunger crisis. The region has not received the annual rainfall for the past 4 years, thus appealing the government to declare a national disaster. Moses Okech, Lookuptv.
Now, members of Kenya internally displaced persons, organizations from Nakuru are living in fear of being displaced as some individuals scheme on grabbing the land they acquired from the government. This and more from the county's roundup.
Internally displaced persons drawn from Nakuru County are crying foul after it emerged that very powerful individuals, allegedly from the Ministry of Lands, schemed on grabbing their land in a shady deal.
Kule ndani ya Ministry ya Mashamba kuna makatero wengi sana, wale ambao wana ujuzi mkubwa. Sasa ni mtu amefanya kazi huko, akishaondolewa kazini, anakuja kama safea, anakuja kama mfanyikazi, anakuja anaharibu system ya mashamba ya IDPs. Sisi tunauza serikali mpya ili chaguo juzi waingilie kati ya hiyo makatero wako kwa lands.
The distraught families are now calling to the government to investigate land registries in Nairobi, Narok, Kajiado and Nakuru counties where parcels of land are being auctioned by cartels within the ministry.
Right now we are facing a crisis where land dispute tribunal, land disputes, each and every day they are mushroom. You hear from Kajiado, Narok, Nairobi, here Nakuru, everywhere.
Meanwhile, in Kilifi County, Mijikenda Kaya elders have urged leaders from the region to work together with President William Ruto to bring development to the county.
Sisi kama viongozi wa kijamii, ombi letu ni kwamba viongozi wote wa kisiasa hapa Coast, ni wakati wetu mzuri wa kwamba mshikane, nafasi kama hizo ambazo tumeweza kuzipata tuweze kuzitumia kwa manufaa ya jamii ya Wapwani.
The elders are hopeful that historical problems such as land issues will be solved.
Issue ya ardhi, issue ya ajira, ni wakati wa kutatua hayo matatizo kama viongozi wote bila kuangalia mirengo, bila kuangalia tofauti, watakuja pamoja ili hizi nafasi tuzozipata tuzitumie kusaidia jamii, na inawezekana hiyo.
Also, members of staff in Masindi Muliro University of Science and Technology have raised their concerns about the financial management in the university and have demanded investigations.
Among other issues, members were talking about good financial management in the university, of a bloated wage bill
and delayed promotions.
Promotions is an issue in this university that has taken a long time. There are people who have stagnated in one position for so many years, and this is bringing quite a concern.
Grace Mureithi,